Good morning. Welcome to A VO's Journey and A VO's Journey podcast. It's good to be here with you all. I hope you had a great Father's Day. And, today's show, we're going to talk about the quote today. And I think it's an important one where probably a lot of us find ourselves at, right? And we're going to talk about that and then how to get ourselves through those tough times. Real quick, if you don't know, we are kicking off a new semester over at A VO's Journey Elite Academy. So remember, if you're looking to grow your voiceover business, it is the perfect place for you to join and come to our classes, take our courses, use the voice system that we've created to help you grow your business step by step with your setup, your marketing, your production, and your acting, all those four pillars centered around leadership and the training that we offer. So I hope to see you there. And with speaking of that, the leadership aspect, let's talk about the quote today. The quote today comes from Greg Evans. And it says, both good days and bad days should end with productivity. Your mood affairs should never influence your work. The reason why I love this quote is because I've been an actor for the majority of my life, whether I've been acting professionally, I've been teaching actors, I've been producing, or I've been directing, or I've been doing the technical side of things, and now voice acting for the last 8 years. And I can tell you, we are an emotional bunch because because that's what actors are. You know what I mean? I mean, we use our emotions. We have to perform, right? We have to be what we call in the industry sensitivity. And it's not sensitivity as like you're so sensitive, but it is sensitivity meaning like we are sensitive to different emotions. We're aware of that sensitivity and we're able to call upon it in order to perform and to express emotions, different emotions on a regular basis, right? And because of that, we are regularly emotional. And on top of that, we're living our lives, right? We're going through a lot of stuff, good stuff as well as bad stuff. And being able to manage all of the stuff, especially the tougher times, right? And those emotions that make you, that can stop you dead in your tracks. It can be very difficult when you're having a bad day, something bad has happened, to actually get stuff done. I can remember, whether I had an argument, you know what I mean, with my spouse, or something happened, my kids misbehaved, or something happened to them. One of them got hurt, or one of them was sick, or something happened at work and it wasn't good. There's, or something financially, there's always, or whatever. There's always something going on in our lives because it's life. Life happens. So those struggles can make it difficult for us to get things done in our business. And what I want to get you to start thinking, right? And this is part of our voice system, but get you to start thinking, and you're shifting your mindset away from everything being so reliant on you. That's where the difference between us building a business, right? A business that works, whether we're there or not. Okay. Yes, we have to do the voiceover, but the business should not be solely reliant on us just doing a voiceover, right? There's marketing, there's the production aspect, all right? There's the business backside, there's the financial aspect, there's things that go on before the actual moment of us doing the voiceover. There's the 90% of the, I would say, right, and probably voiceover work is the actual act of doing the voiceover is the least amount of work we do. All of the other work is all the 95% of the work has to be done. Then we do the voiceover stuff. All right. And it goes back. But the idea here is that, the emotions that we have play a vital role a lot of times, whether or not we finish or we're productive, right? Whether or not we do the auditions we've set, whether or not we get done the chapters we're supposed to get done, or we submit to the profiles we're supposed to submit, or finish the samples we're supposed to do, or set up the website, or add the extra content, or do all of these productivity things that we need to do in order to make our business successful can be easily swayed by whether we're having a good or a bad day. So, how do we work through this? All right. Understanding emotional intelligence. All right. Understanding how powerful our emotions are and how they can, they're like 10 times more powerful than the logical part of our brain. Knowing that we need to build a set of systems that work even when we're not. Okay? Meaning that we need to have something that's going no matter how we feel. Whether we're having a good day or we're having a bad day, right? Whether things are working for us or things are just not happening. We need to have a set of systems that we turn on the key and it runs. Okay, again, and those systems are what we should be working on. I love the phrase working on your business, not just in your business. I think a lot of us work in our business a lot. I mean, right? We put our heads down. We're workers. We're hard workers, darn it. I mean, we work our butts off. Okay, but a lot of times we work as like we're employees of our business, getting the work done. And then now it has to get done. So yes, there is a part of us that has to be an employee, at least for a while. But the business owner part, right, the entrepreneur part, that's the part that we're thinking about. How does this affect the future? How am I, how do I keep doing this? How do I grow? How do I multiply this? How do I solve this challenge? We've talked a lot over the last couple of weeks about time. Time is a big issue, and we just published our first new newsletter, right, for voice actors with full-time jobs, trying to replace that income, with voiceover income and go full-time. And our video of that on our first newsletter, our video portion was about time management. Okay. Actually, I think it was about money management. I'm sorry, it was about money management. But the next one will be about time management. But the first section of that after our showcase of our fan dub that we did was about looking back on my time that I remember and how crazy it was about time management. Sorry, the first section, not the video section, was about time management. And that is one of the biggest things I hear from everybody is I don't have a lot of time. The time is a struggle. Time is an issue. So managing that time becomes a very important and vital system for us to be able to get down and to be able to work correctly. Now, what is like a system I'm talking about? So I'm talking about something like, we have a repeatable process with a predictable outcome. Okay, that's a system. And then there are actions in place, right, that complete that repeatable process, which leads to a predictable outcome, which means that if you continue to do this, and you repeat that process, you will continue to have a predictable outcome. Finding that and putting that into place, right, you need a system to do that. You need a set of systems. You can go out and create them on your own, through years of hard work. You can join a VO's Journey Elite Academy or something and use the systems we already have. But these are the things that you need to be able to deal with the good days, the bad days, the struggles, the time you don't have. You need to be productive no matter what. And I always think that if we know that we're going to have hard days, and we don't want to admit that we are, but we know we're going to have rough days. We know tough things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen and bad things are going to happen. We know that. If you've done this long enough or any job long, you're going to have bad days or days where you're not going to be very productive. So knowing that, we should plan for it and how we handle that. Does that make sense? We need to set those systems up in place. So here's just a perfect example of a system. If we know that we need to be able to keep things going even when we're not being productive, a simple system would be, how do we continue to send regular emails on a daily, weekly business or daily, weekly basis to potential customers? All right. How do we do that when we might not feel like doing it ourselves, or we don't have the time to do it, or we don't have the inclination, or we're just feeling no way productive today, right? Or we're exhausted, or we couldn't even get to our business today. How do we keep those going? Because that consistency is key to success. So we have to put that away. That's key to success. So because we know we need to do something, and we know consistent contact to potential customers, right, will lead to business, we know that that is a process that needs to be able to be repeated because it will have a predictable outcome, but we have to repeat that process. So that means that's a system that we need to create. Okay? We need to find leads, and we need to be able to email them on a regular basis, and then we need to be able to follow up with them on a regular basis. We need that to create that system. So there's many different ways to create that system. There is the system where most of us plug into, which is, I got to do it. I'm going to do it every single day, and if I don't do it, it just doesn't get done. Okay, that's a sad system, but that's one. Okay, it's not a very productive one. There's other ones, right, where we actually start to set up automatic systems. I mean, gosh, with everything that's available out there, automatic stuff through software, businesses online who do this stuff, I mean, where we can set things up automatically is no short supply. Okay? It's not, with your CRMs, it's not difficult to set these things up anymore without you having to be the main contributor all the time, right? So that it continues to happen when you're not there. It's like, here, another perfect system in marketing would be like, you have a website, right? And you've built content on your website, and your website starts ranking in Google. Well, that's a system because you're generating traffic even when you're sleeping, because people are searching, people are looking, and they're finding your website. Okay? Let's talk about this. For example, let's say you do an audiobook, and you realize that if you've done enough audiobooks, that 70% of your time isn't actually the recording, it's actually the editing. So how do you fix that? Because you need more time, not only to live, but you also need more time to get more work. Well, that's where you have editors and engineers and proofreaders. Does it cost more money? Yes. We can't think about all the time, well, it costs more money. You have to think about the money and time. Time is money. It literally is, because the more time you have, the more money you can make. But we have to create systems around that in order for you to make more money. But we won't be able to do it unless you have the time. It's like it's like the chicken and the egg, but it's really not, because we know, right, that even like, let's just say audiobooks per finished hour. Right? You know that you've got to do more hours in order to make more money. But you know that if one finished hour is taking you 5 or 6 hours, and 4 of those hours, or about 3.5 or 4 of those hours out of the 6 hours, are editing and proofreading and stuff like, then, I mean, if you could get away from having to do those 4 hours, right? That means you have 4 more hours to complete 2 more finished hours. So if you made, let's say you charge $150 per finished, I'm just going to go through this, $150 per finished hour. It takes you 2 hours to record, 4 hours to finish the editing, proofing, all that stuff, right? Okay, so if you paid someone $50 an hour per finished hour, and you did 3, okay, that means that you would owe that person $150. If you did 3 finished hours, okay, in 6 hours yourself, because it only takes you 2 hours to record the finished hour, and it takes that person, 4 hours to do the other editing, then that means you charged $150 per finished hour. That's $450 minus the $150 you paid the engineer. So now you have $300, whereas before you would have only made $150 if you even charged that. So you've doubled your money, increased your productivity, done less work, and built a system to where now you can build, or you can make more money and increase a lot more productivity getting things done, in turn increasing revenue. Okay? But a lot of times up front we won't think like that, because we're thinking, well, I don't want to just give away the money right now. Okay? But we have to think about, I know it's about money, but think of the money will, I promise you, the money will grow and the money will come, but we've got to build the systems. All right. Anyways, I hope that gives you an idea of just basic little systems that we put into place All right. And knowing those systems, knowing how they work, having a set of instructions, having them written down, these are important things for a business. Okay. Not a solopreneur, not a person out on their own, taking on the world. No business does that. The only people who do that are employees. I mean, all of us started this to not be employees anymore. So don't forget that. We started not to be employees anymore. All right. And just because we have a little bit more control over when we do things and don't do things, that just means we're employees who have a little more control. But a business is a series of repeatable systems with predictable outcomes that are not reliant on you doing them all the time. Okay, that doesn't mean we don't do it all, but it just means that you don't have to do them all the time. All right. Well, anyways, I love this is a favorite topic of mine. It's been a challenge of mine. It's been a challenge changing my mindset because I've been an employee my whole life, and it's been the work to try to change all of that. Right? Change that mindsets from school when I was a kid in school that is built into, that is just programmed into us. I mean, it's not by design from our education system, but anyways, it's on purpose. But, that is a change and a shift. But it's really amazing when you can open up your eyes and you can see it in something like we teach people at the Academy to do. It's really amazing. So listen, I hope you guys had a wonderful Monday, and I hope this has got your mind thinking about looking back at your business from a top view and saying, these are the things I need to create in order to get my business to work without me. All right, all the time, so that I can grow exponentially, and it's not so reliant upon my moods and if I'm having a good day or bad day and whether or not I can be super productive. I want to be productive no matter what kind of day I'm having. I need to be in order to grow this business. All right, guys, thank you so much. Make sure you check out the links below. So don't forget, sign up for our newsletter. All right, we send one out every Saturday, and also we have a really cool, I made about 5 videos detailing the process and the system that we've built and how you can use it and things like that. And it's really educational. It's really nice. I think the videos, good videos, and you can only get them by signing up for the newsletter. And also check out the Avio's Journey Elite Academy link below, because we have our new semester starting this week. And even if you missed that, you can join at any time, of course, but because it's all archived as well. We'd love to have you. Check it out, all right? Thank you guys so much. And by the way, it's half off to give it us a shot for the first month to try us out. So it's well worth it. Okay, have a good one. Happy Monday. See you all later. Goodbye. Goodbye.